Ryan Garcia needs serious help. I don't think it's a joke anymore. I don't think people can really speculate and say that Ryan Garcia is trolling the world. I used to have a hunch that that was the case, but now it seems like with everything going on, all the racial accusations, him saying racial slurs, Golden Boy even having to publicly address it and put out a statement saying that, you know, Oscar De La Hoya doesn't condone any of this, doesn't want any, any of these kind of words, this negativity being associated with his company. Having to say stuff like that is, in my opinion, starting to show me, okay, Ryan Garcia is not trolling. Maybe he does need to take some time off. You know, I was one of the people that was a little bit not upset with, but I was like, it's unfortunate that he has to deal with the suspension, because let's be real, what if the Ostarine didn't play a role and he unintentionally took a supplement that was contaminated? I'm just, you know, playing devil's advocate and also giving Ryan Garcia the benefit of the doubt with the Devin Haney fight, and, you know, giving him credit for what he did in there. You know, maybe he doesn't deserve it, maybe he intentionally took it, but whether or not that's the case, you know, everything that Ryan Garcia has been doing up until this point, it's crossed the line. I think it's fair to say that it's crossed the line, and now we have to really seriously be concerned about, you know, where his mental headspace is at. And he talked about, you know, going to rehab. He's in rehab. He's entering rehab apparently now. So hopefully Ryan Garcia gets all the help he needs, because, you know, going and saying stuff about, you know, other fighters like George Kambosos and Caleb Plant, talking about their wives, talking about Devin Haney, disrespecting their religion, stuff like that, I think is a little bit much. And I think Ryan Garcia's father even talked about, you know, wanting to get Ryan Garcia some help, and I think that's what they're going to get. So I wish Ryan Garcia, I think we should all wish him the best and hope that the best happens. But in terms of, you know, everything he's saying, you know, we don't have room for that in the sport of boxing. You can't have people disrespecting other people's race, ethnicity, religion, all of that. You know, it's not cool. But yeah, it's an unfortunate situation, because you saw basically such a high and then such a low for Ryan Garcia when he was counted out by basically everyone in the sport of boxing. Everyone picked Devin to beat Ryan Garcia in that fight, and then Ryan goes in there, shocks the world, and then we find out about that PED test. He goes from such a high to such a, you know, a low, and when he thought he couldn't get any lower, you know, obviously everything on social media, him getting a ban from the WBC indefinitely, and then also dealing with the 1-year suspension from the New York Athletic Commission. Who knows when we're going to see Ryan Garcia again? Obviously, a 1-year suspension is one thing, but getting, you know, kicked out of the WBC shows that he's not going to be able to get that belt. And not that Ryan Garcia was one to ever really care about getting a belt or becoming world champion. I think he was more so about making the big fights, making the money fights, and I still think he is that way. But to know that now he's expelled by the WBC, it's unfortunate, because now he will probably never get a belt there. You know, I'm not saying that he would have definitely gotten one if he wasn't, but, you know, now not being able to fight with the WBC, that means even for a potential title, not even to, you know, if he were to get a title and then he wouldn't be able to defend it, he can't even get the title anymore. So it's a big mess for Ryan Garcia right now. He has a lot of things that he needs to clean up, and he has to clean up his act. That's inevitably what it is. But I wanted to hop on the channel and share my thoughts about what's going on in terms of, you know, where I'm at in terms of this whole Ryan Garcia scenario, because it is a mess. It's like something new. You wake up on social media and you're like, oh, Ryan, not again. You got to stay off social media for a bit, and a lot of people are talking about the racial stuff, and I just don't know. I just have a weird take on it. I think that boxing's in a weird place, and nowadays everyone thinks it's perfect. I'm not saying that it's okay to say racial slurs, but, you know, worse things have been done in the sport. Worse things have been done by fighters. A lot of these fighters that we love and considered legends are convicted felons, have done crazy things, you know, outside their lives. But I think because Ryan Garcia has such a big Instagram, social media following in general, everything that he does, every crazy thing he says on social media, even if it's not him saying it outright, you know, he's, you know, getting all the attention, and everything he does, every mistake he has is incredibly magnified. So, you know, Ryan Garcia obviously has to be making some change in terms of his lifestyle, but obviously we still want to see him fight. I don't know about anybody else, but I personally still think he's one of those talents that we need in the sport of boxing. That's just my opinion, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he does need to be banned for life, but I think there are a few stars like Ryan, and I think he brings a level of exposure to the sport of boxing that no other fighter can bring because of that Instagram following he has and because of his exciting style. I think that it's not just his Instagram style, it's not just the way that he acts. I think it's also the way he performs that excites people about the sport of boxing. So for me, I know that Ryan Garcia is not a bad person. I know his parents aren't bad people. I know his brother's not a bad person, but all that aside, there's at the same time, there's no room for derogatory language towards anybody within the, not only the boxing world, but in the world, period. You know, you can't be having all that because it's just not right. It's not right. And Ryan Garcia is one to claim about religion, this and that. And I don't think, you know, his actions are contradicting his words. So it's something that, you know, I'm not a big fan of. You know, I like it better when he's trash talking other opponents and saying, you know, I'm going to knock you out, this and that. That's one thing. I think that's more of the trash talk that comes with the territory, and that's all fine. But going to the point where you're talking about other people's wives, talking about, you know, other religious beliefs, calling people certain slurs, that's where it gets a little bit like too much for sure. But I also, you know, think that he's getting a lot of, you know, punishment because of how popular he is. I think if this was a nobody, who would really care about what Ryan Garcia is saying? But there's no doubt, you know, with all the antics, everything he's posting on social media, that the kid needs help. There's no doubt about that. It's more so, you know, how do we go about his boxing career? Because a lot of us still want to see him fight, but we can't have the racism. We can't have these things. I know they're just words, but in today's society where, you know, we have to take into account everybody's perspective and respect everyone's, you know, religion, color, ethnicity, we have to respect everybody. That's just how it is. That's how it's supposed to be. So, you know, setting boundaries and just showing Ryan Garcia that it's not okay. I think he's going to learn. He said that he's in rehab, so dealing with substance abuse is something serious. So I hope he gets the help that he needs, because obviously he has a lot of fans, and a lot of his fans are little kids, and yeah, they look up to him. So hopefully he can transform and have a great, you know, comeback story that is motivational and one day is on 60 Minutes or it's on some sort of documentary, Sports Center 30 for 30, where, you know, he's inspiring people who are dealing with something similar. Not exactly, you know, what Ryan Garcia is going through, because you got to think about it. Ryan Garcia has been through so much in a short span of time. It kind of reminds me of, you know, any, you know, young superstar guys like Justin Bieber, all these kids that got popular when they were really young, and they have to kind of find a way to manage it. You know, fame is a difficult thing in the sport of boxing, because it's like, you don't choose it. You know, you obviously you want to be pro, you want to make all the money and become famous, but you don't choose to be a role model. But, you know, with the fame comes becoming, you know, inspiring to people. People want to be like you just because you're famous. That's just how it is, and I think that's how it's always going to be. No matter if you're intending on being a supermodel, with the fame comes that influence. And I think, you know, with Ryan Garcia being such a influential and someone who has such a strong impression on the younger generation, I think it's very important that he not only makes a change for himself and his family, but for, you know, everybody looking up to him. Because a lot of these kids, I've been to a lot of Ryan Garcia interviews, media workouts, weigh-ins, this and that, seen him, you know, and a lot of these people are excited to see Ryan. I remember going to a gym for a media workout and Ryan Garcia was there, and I was just, you know, recording, doing my work, and then, you know, I could hear kids just hitting the pads, hitting the bag, and they were, you know, literally little kids, and they were going, oh my God, it's Ryan Garcia, and they were running to take their gloves off and trying to get a picture with Ryan. So that just goes to show that the demographic is a very impressionable age. That's why it's so, you know, uber important that Ryan Garcia gets the help that he needs, so he bounces back from this, makes the changes that he needs to, improves as a person, and then, you know, goes back to being that role model and that public figure for, you know, the future boxers, the future younger generation, to inspire them in a positive manner. So that's key for Ryan Garcia, but I wish him all the best. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this Ryan Garcia situation, but thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
That's going to do it for another NASFIGHT Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.